And the key to the universe is?
Intention.
Intention is the key to the universe. Intention. When we intend. That's what colors every choice that we make. If I choose something because it makes me feel secure, if I choose this relationship because it makes me feel secure, or I choose this job because it makes me feel secure, or I choose church because it makes me feel secure, what am I really saying?
I'm insecure.
I don't trust that the universe is going to support me. And what am I making that person, that job, or that church? I'm making them my source. I am choosing because it makes me feel secure. Now they are responsible for my security. And in order for me to maintain that relationship that I've created with them, what do I have to maintain within myself? I need to maintain insecurity. I need to feel insecure about myself in order to stay in that relationship. We have all had, as we grow, I don't think that our world construct really teaches us how to grow as full-bodied beings. So we all have moments when we're dependent as children and as young adults and as even older adults on people because we're not solid within ourselves. So we'll go into a relationship where that person makes us feel strong and happy and awake, and the minute you start feeling it within yourself, you notice the relationship starts to change. They may not want to be around you anymore because it's no longer the agreement, because your intention toward them has shifted. Do you know what I'm saying? So being aware of our intention and not choosing for our insecurities, but choosing for our where we want to go, for our truth, for our potential. Feeling happy? All right. Okay, cause and effect. Effect is not, we think of effect as being a result or an event that occurs after a cause. I slap Jimmy, Jimmy slaps me. That's the effect of my hostility. I yell at Juanita and someone else yells at me. Juanita doesn't choose to yell at me, but Helen will, because it'll come back to me, you see? So that's how we think of effects, but effects are also conditions of our lives. As we set up these causal energies, the effect could be an entire condition of not being able to rise out of the effect. Let me say this again. The effect could be a condition that we live in, and we don't know how to rise out of it because we are creating it. You see? Just like the insecurity. We are creating it ourselves and don't know how to break it. So, some of us have chosen God's will, and when you do that as your overall choice, you will always be directed by Spirit. Do you understand that? If you have chosen to walk in the will of the One, and you've given God your will, you will always be redirected to stay on your soul's path, kicking and screaming. Because you've already chosen. Some of us don't know what to choose. We don't know how to choose. We don't have the courage to choose, so we choose what the world offers us. And does the world offer us interesting choices? Absolutely. If you don't know what you want, the world does. They will show you a bunch of beautiful things you can experience. Come on, and it helps us if you experience that. And we want you to experience that, and you go, okay, I'll experience it. We're constantly making choices. Every aspect of your world is a result of a choice you've made consciously, by default, or through a desire to create something. Isn't it really strange to think that every single thing I'm experiencing, I chose? If I inventoried every single one of you as you came in the door this morning, and I said, did you choose every single thing you experienced? I would get a lot of, well, not really. No, it was so-and-so. And then I agreed to this, and then this, and then that, and there would be all these extenuating circumstances, because it really wasn't me. But you forget the part I agreed to. So it really was you. I agreed to go on that journey with my buddy. I agreed to that. And every time, look at the energy field of your body, you cannot agree to an experience unless there is a resonance complementary resonance for that experience. There is a payoff for you somewhere. Take a breath. This is not about suffering. Everything you agree to experience, there will be some payoff for you. Is it the highest and best experience you could have? Maybe not. Maybe not. But you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something. Still feeling really comfortable? Okay, good. All right. Remember, what you focus on expands. We know that basic tenets of metaphysics. What you focus on expands. And we also know that the percentage is astronomical. It's over 90% of the thoughts you think today are the thoughts you'll think tomorrow. They're the thoughts you thought yesterday. Over 90% of the thoughts you think every day are the same thoughts you've always thought. What's the hope of you changing without conscious mind participation? It's very challenging. It's very challenging. It requires us to input higher thought daily into our lives. Even in those soul moments, when you've had a soul moment and you know you have to change, haven't you, as you're implementing that change, looked at yourself and said, oh my goodness, what am I doing? And you have to hold tight to that soul choice, and you have to go forward anyway, because you've already eliminated all other choices. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those 90% of the doubting thoughts still come back. You have to literally change them. Literally hold and go forward. Now, if you have to do that with a soul moment, how much more do you have to do with that when you're trying to change and you don't know what you're trying to change? As we opened up with this morning, this is not easy work. It requires us to be awake. So, I wanted to remind you all about Jesus' methodology. You know, when Jesus saw people, and they were experiencing a condition of less than perfection. Some of them were experiencing emotional distraught. Some of them were in occupations that were not morally accepted at the time. Some of them were sick. They had so organized the vibration of their bodies that they were embodying something that was less than health. They had disease in their bodies. And the first thing that he did when he saw them, be it the courtesan or the palsied man on the cot, he did not say, "What have you been doing?" He absolutely did not judge. The first thing he did was to accept. They are having the experience that they know how to have to learn something they need to learn. We cannot ever put ourselves in a position of knowing the pattern of a soul and what might be for their highest and best. We cannot judge. And we can say that now, can't we, as a group? We can go, well, we try not to judge other people, right? You know, I try not to judge other people. Yet when I talk to you about your own creation, what's the first thing you want to do about your world? You want to judge it. You want to say, well, if I created that, what was I thinking? What am I learning here? What the heck's wrong with me? Why am I not rich and famous? I could have created that. What's wrong with me? We always go to the outer first. Why am I uncomfortable? Why did I create this? And we start judging the life we've lived. And I know you are. We need to breathe. Do not judge. What it says in the Aquarian, and this is in 94, Jesus is teaching on the Sermon on the Mount. And this is one of the most powerful little scriptures. And I use it all the time in my common language with Patrick, with people that will understand. If you would be discharged from all the debts you owe to God and man, the debts you have consciously and willfully incurred, things you have consciously done to hurt or harm any man, if you want to be discharged from that and not do karma forever and ever, You must pass by the debts of every man.